Good morning, guys. So today is Saturday. I'm gonna go to Pure Muscle today to train some lower arms and delts. A little bit of an interesting one. I'll explain my split in another video, but gonna get this down, tick off about 4 to 5K steps, do some 3 sets of abs. Got this morning. I like to separate my ab work from my training, just so my training session's a little bit shorter and there's enough time in between. It's perfectly fine. And then, get into some nutrition stuff, how I like to approach it for some optimal results. Before I start, check out this new visor. It's called Silver Iridium. Pretty damn sick. So if you want to improve your physique and make progress at a quick rate, guessing when it comes to your nutrition usually doesn't work unless you have fantastic genetics. We all know those guys who, let's say, have quite the suboptimal approach when it comes to their training and nutrition. You know, they can eat kind of whatever they want, training, kind of just still do whatever they want, and they still look insane. So those guys aside, I like to think of it when you're driving. You want to get somewhere faster, you're gonna put on Waze or like Google Maps, most likely Waze. You want to get to your goal faster, you want to track your food. So how do you track your macros? First, I'd recommend switching from MyFitnessPal to Cronometer. It is literally superior in quite literally every single way, and we'll get into why later in this video. But starting from square one, finding your macros. Once you or your coach have given yourself a set amount of calories, which you can estimate like maintenance, body weight times 15, surplus you could do times 16, deficit times 14. Those are good start points. What you then do in terms of protein, carbs, and fats, what I like to do is set protein at 1 to 1.2 grams per pound of body weight. Now you can push that up to 1.5 grams per pound as you get further into a deficit to increase the thermic effect of food, so you'll burn more calories just from eating more protein as well as feeling more satiated. But 1 to 1.2 grams per pound is a good start place. Fats, I like anywhere from 0.4 grams per pound to 0.7 at the high end, but fats, to be honest, are purely just preference. As long as you're in that range, if you're someone who likes higher fats, go for it. If you're someone who likes lower fats, go for it. And then the rest of your calories, once those two are set, get allocated to your carbohydrates. So if you're new to macros and you're like, well, how the hell do I calculate all this? You can either, one, sign up to my free email series, and right after you sign up, the first email you'll get sent, you'll get a site where you literally just put in your data and it'll just calculate everything for you, including your food options, including if you wanted to do a high day, low day. So all of that, link in the description. Or, I mean, in this day and age, just whip out ChatGPT, man. I weigh this much. I want to find my maintenance calories. I want protein at this much. I want carbs and fats at this much. Done. So that is the first installment of how to get started with your macros. It's now time to do some work, and then see you at the first meal of the day. First meal of the day, nice and simple. Same thing every morning. I say morning, but it's 12 because I like to fast in the morning. But only thing that changes in this meal is the carb source. So I always go eggs and egg whites. Egg whites to give me a little more volume, and then sometimes I'll go cream of rice like I did today, and berries with Brian Johnson's cocoa. I know I'm such a sucker for consumerism, man, but I bought his olive oil as well, but I think that's pretty valid because I did look into the olive oil thing, and it is facts that most of the olive oil you find in stores is not high quality. So that one's justified. The cocoa, on the other hand, I don't know, but high polyphenols definitely don't hurt. So it tastes good as well. Also added in my homemade cold brew. So for an equal amount of carbs, I'll either do cream of rice, or like I said, for equal amount of carbs, I'll do some bunch of fruit, maybe like an assortment of fruit, like some watermelon, some kiwis, some berries. If I'm feeling that, I'll usually do that on rest days, to be honest, just to give me a little more volume because I get a little more hungry because I'm not spending that like hour and a half in the gym. But today, yeah, cream of rice, berries, honey. Sometimes I'll do sourdough, get it nice and fresh, and that's bangs pretty much with the eggs. So that leads me to, when you are tracking your food, you ideally want to have 2 to 3 different sources of fruit and veg per day to stay on top of all your micronutrient needs and promote diversity of your gut microbiome. Now, my current macros that my coach set for this phase are 170 protein, about 220 carb right now, and 55 fat. So that's on a train a day, which is today, and I follow a meal plan, so I don't have to really think about it. It's easy. My coach makes changes to it on a weekly basis if need be, adds in refeed days when needed, and man, I would honestly recommend anyone trying to maximize their progress to get yourself a coach. Like, it doesn't have to be me, OS coaching, but at least for me, I don't have to think about my nutrition. I don't have to think about my training, supplementation. Do I need to make a change this week? Should I increase my cardio, increase my steps? Should I lower my steps? Fatigue is getting high. Should I refeed? Do I need a diet break? All that mental bandwidth, I can just forego. So it's nice, and it allows me to put way more effort and energy into other stuff like my clients, content, podcast. So long story short, I've had a coach for like 4 years now, coming up on 4 years. A couple different coaches I worked with, and I will continue to work with one for at least the next 2-3 years. So that's one of the biggest reasons why. Also, and also, also it's someone to learn from, especially since I'm working with a guy who's very well versed in the functional health side of things, which is in a direction I'm very fascinated in. So I think it's such a valuable asset when looking for a coach, not just someone who can give you macros and a training plan, because a lot of people can do that, but understands physiology on a deeper level, blood work, gut health, because you will only adapt to the degree you are healthy. And if you optimize your health, you'll not only feel better, perform better physically and mentally, which is huge, but results and progress come so much faster when you're just firing on all cylinders. I saw something that pissed me off a little bit when I was doing my steps. I said this in the last video, but Mobland, I saw it might be discontinued for some reason, which is just completely ridiculous. Like, why would they discontinue that? So I hope it's, like I said, some propaganda. But yeah, that'll be annoying because I was really starting to like that show, man. Crazy. Anyway, when it comes to the hierarchy of importance in terms of your nutrition, so first of all, welcome back to installment number 2 of the nutrition, how to check your macros. So calories first, then the distribution of those calories, macros, and then micros are third. Honestly, micros and macro distribution, you could make an argument that they're tied, but for the sake of this video, macros, calories first, macros, then micros, then meal timing, so how you set up your meals across the day, which we'll get into. So we covered the macro distribution. Now, how would I set up your meals? I'd go 3 to 5 meals per day. Divide your protein evenly in all of them. So I'd also divide your fats evenly as well. Or if you want to, you can remove your fats from your post-workout meal to speed up the digestion post-workout, get those carbohydrates in the bloodstream as fast as possible. And when it comes to the carbohydrates, as these are what you'll modulate when you need to pull calories down along your diet, or if you're in a surplus, these are what you'll bump up once your protein and fats are set. You want the majority of your carbs in your pre and post-workout meal, as well as the intra, and then from there your last meal, because it will help lower cortisol in the evening. It puts you more in that parasympathetic zen state before bed, which is exactly what we want. Intra-workout nutrition, I think it's unbelievably underrated, simply because if you want to get more gains, having an intra-workout drink will actually help you get more gains. So in our intro, we want 4 things. We want 1, amino acid availability, 2, glucose availability, 3, hydration, and then 4, to tick off those 3 without any digestive distress. So to accomplish those 4, I have 30 grams of carbs from Momentous Fuel. Electrolytes are a must. I use the Gorilla hydration pack. It doesn't have to be like one of those hydration packs or Element. It can be like pink salt or Baja Gold salt, Celtic salt. Any of those work, but a good formulation of sodium, potassium, magnesium is definitely beneficial. Then we have glutamine, is a good addition. Spoke about glutamine a lot, but great for the gut, increases the uptake of electrolytes as well. Then I'll add EAAs, just a hedge against protein breakdown essentially, especially when in a deficit. And it'll also spike muscle protein synthesis during the workout, which is a nice bonus. And then I'll throw in creatine. No specific reason behind, like it's not going to get you more gains or have an additive effect, but I'm just simple, easy. That's the reason behind that one. Such a lovely drive, honestly, to that gym. It's just straight country roads, nice and windy. I cannot wait till the weather gets nicer, so I can bust out the motorcycle. It's gonna be some fun drives. Definitely get some content for that too. So, some tracking tips for you. Number 1, sit down. Could be on a Sunday. Kick up, put your feet up, and plan your meals for the week. This way, you're not day of stressing about what you're gonna have, which can lead to some pretty poor food choices, whatever's in the house. Or you can do the night before, plan the next day. Tip number 2, I'd use Cronometer to see your micronutrient intake along with your macros, and it'll show your electrolyte intake as well. So you can see where you're lacking, what foods are high, and what mineral, vitamins, and then if you need a backfill with like a solid multivitamin or supplement, you could do so to kind of cover all your micronutrient bases. Next tip, give yourself rest day and training day macros. So on a rest day, you're just going to lower your carbs by, let's say, 30 to 50 grams, increase fat slightly, and on training days, you're going to increase your carbs by the same amount. So your weekly intake stays the same, but you're giving your body more fuel when it needs it on the training days, and then you're allowing yourself less carbs on the rest days. So balances out the same, but better performance from the carbs on the training days. Finish the night off with a lovely Ninja Creamy. Would highly recommend investing in one. Literally ice cream texture. Sometimes I'll throw some toppings on top. Blueberries, strawberries, macadamia nuts. But today I used my macros in my last meal. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this helped in some way. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.